And so, yeah, I thought this was a little more recent. This is really activity that's been happening just in the last 2 months. But if this could continue, like, you could see Near really popping off here in the near future. No pun intended.
I love that. Move to Earn's been really popular lately too. So
yeah, really
definitely
popular.
One that's on the list. I love it.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of WagmiTV. The crypto community is alive and flourishing. We have a huge Bitcoin pump, obviously, this last week, and honestly, last month and entire year, one of the best performing assets across the board. But that means we now have opportunity to look into maybe some lower cap altcoins and get outsized gains that way. So today we're going to spend some time talking about our 4 favorite altcoins, ones that we're looking at. Not financial advice, but we do think that these have opportunity in the next few years and kind of just down the line. So yeah, we're excited to talk about it, and I think we're going to kick it first.
Chainlink or Link. And I think there's a lot of reasons behind this, right? It's a coin that's been around for a long time, and it's definitely utilized by a lot of groups, individuals, et cetera, in the blockchain and crypto space. So if blockchains are to really provide us the internet of money, they'll need to eventually collaborate. So the types of data shared by blockchains and a slew of other characteristics differ dramatically depending on their intended application. So a good example that I have told these fellows before is a logistics company. So if a logistics company is using a blockchain to track their shipments, but can't communicate with the blockchain they use to make payments, it could actually cause some very serious problems for them. But there would be very good reason to utilize different blockchains for those 2 different use cases. So the requirement to trust really a source outside the blockchain to supply correct information has always been a big weakness when it comes to getting information to and from the outside world. So what is the solution is really the question here. And the answer to that is Chainlink. It's really a decentralized blockchain Oracle network that enables smart contracts to communicate securely with real-world data and services outside of blockchain. So obviously makes Chainlink very, very essential. It's really, it significantly enhances a lot of the capabilities by allowing that access to some of the off-chain data and data outside of the blockchain. Of course, use cases include accessing, interest rates and pricing access by decentralized finance organizations or DeFi organizations and applications, and can span to a lot of different areas should blockchain and crypto be picked up, more so in the real world, if you will. So insurance companies, banks, etc. But when we are thinking about Chainlink or Link, just going to share my screen here really quickly. It's really been, for the most part, a pretty big sleeping giant for a lot of the end of 2022 and really throughout this year. It's been pretty low volume and really hasn't done a whole lot. It's really stayed in a $4 to $5 range. More recently, it has actually popped pretty significantly. At one point, it was up about 127%. It's had a little bit of a pullback since. What's really nice to see is this is a good little consolidation pattern, actually. And so if Bitcoin continues on its way up, we could definitely see this one go a little bit wild. The only thing from a technical analysis perspective to watch out for would be if this is potentially a double top. So you'd be looking for it to actually take out some of these lows. And that's when you might want to think about reevaluating your thesis on Link. So that's mine for today. And I think next is Evan, and then we're going to go to Sia.
Yeah. No, that was a great rundown, Mata. And so the one I'm actually going to talk about is Near Protocol, and it's got a little different reason than what you had, Mata. And mine more has a recency bias towards the type of activity and actually unique active users that the chain has been seeing over the last couple months and actually last couple weeks, really. And so I'll go ahead and share my screen. And what I want to show you guys is basically the amount of unique active users that Near has because of 2 applications. So when you look at the top blockchain dApps here for the last 30 days, You have Kaching, which is a Chinese e-commerce store, and then you also have Sweat Economy, which is essentially a movement to earn type platform where you can make money based off doing activities, running, stuff like that. And really, both of these are built on top of Near. And so Near has seen a ton of on-chain activity over the last couple months due to these two apps. And so not only is it, skyrocketing in activity, transactions, unique users on chain, but also we're seeing this huge Bitcoin run up. And so you really see the opportunity for Near to have a really great 2024 and, next bull cycle. And so I think Near is definitely a protocol to watch just because of who's building on it and the types of teams that have been able to bring utility to the chain, which, to be honest, I don't know if you can say that about a ton of other L1s in the space. And so, yeah, I thought this was a little more recent. This is really activity that's been happening just in the last 2 months. But if this could continue, like, you could see Near really popping off here in the near future. No pun intended.
I love that. Move to Earn's been really popular lately too. So
yeah, really
definitely
popular.
One that's on the list. I love it.
Oh, awesome. I'll round us out. The one I have is Veracity, ticker VRA. I love this project personally because I always like looking for projects that have a large industry tailwind. So what I mean by that is there's some sort of trend in the larger industry and the larger economy that would back the business model of the particular, crypto project or token. And so what Veracity does is it actually has the ability to identify. They have basically a blockchain SaaS type of product that actually is able to identify and withdraw fraudulent ad impressions or interactions. So just to give a frame of reference, the digital ad spend market is over 600 billion just in 2023. So people are paying a lot of money in digital ads. Obviously, you think about Facebook, you think about Google ads, Twitter, all this stuff. And it's one of the main customer acquisition and marketing avenues for larger companies. And about a sixth of that is estimated to be fraud. So about $100 billion worth of that 600 billion is estimated to be fraudulent impressions or fraudulent interactions with advertisements. As you can imagine, all these different platforms are kind of gambling and fighting to lower their CPM to attract more publishers and more advertisers. So what Veracity's value prop is basically removing those fraudulent ad interactions and then actually giving that money back to those publishers. So in real time, they can identify, hey, were these impressions really supposed to be charging to the advertiser? And it offers it in kind of like a neat and nice dashboard to interact with. They've already onboarded clients. They've partnered with Bright Cove, who's a big publisher house. They have a lot of partners as well. Folks like AWS and a lot of other companies that we all know. So that's why I'm bullish on VRA. Obviously, from a chart perspective, they're well, like many altcoins, they're well off their all-time high. But they have been able to do a solid 2x in the last, I want to call it 2 months. So it's picked up some traction recently. And honestly, it's it's picked up volume as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with VRA in the future here. I love the project idea, not many competitors in the space and a large market to go after. So it's one that I'll continue to watch. Awesome. I think that does it for our top altcoins that we're watching right now. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment on ones that you want us to dive deeper into. Obviously, again, none of this was financial advice, but these are ones that we're watching and that we're hoping see some success in the future here. But again, if you found anything valuable, would love to hear from your comments below in the video. And until next week, WagMe.